Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it happens to be when you're watching this. Hi, how are you? I do hope all is well with you. Fremont Lee here, and opinions expressed in this video are those of the person saying it. That's me, Fremont Lee. Hi, how are you? It is 10:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as I am live streaming this on November 27th, 2021. If your birthday is today, happy birthday! If you're watching it on your birthday, happy birthday. If it's not your birthday, hey, I hope you're having a good day. Today's birthdays for November 27th. Curtis Armstrong, Revenge of the Nerds, Better Off Dead. I think he was in One Crazy Summer. Robin Givens, Jaleel White, Sharlto Copley, Copley, Copley. He was Murdoch in the movie The A-Team. He's done other things, District 9. I think it was District 9 stuff. Writer, actor Steve Odekirk, Kung Pao, Enter the Fist. Fisher Stevens, who was in Short Circuit. Hacker, the one with Angelina Jolie and Johnny Lee Miller. Excuse me. Matthew Lillard, I believe, was also in that movie as the serial killer, or as serial killer, Cereal, not. Anyway, William Fichtner. Hi, how you doing? Fichtner. He was the accountant in Drive Angry, I think it was, with Nicolas Cage. Brooke Langton, who's in The Replacements. She's been in other things. That's just the one I know her from. These are names of people I recognized, like either the name or the person or the face in the picture. Sometimes when there isn't a picture, I don't. It's like, oh, that's who they were, right? Excuse me. Lashana Lynch. She was in something this year or next year. The one, No Time to Die, the James Bond movie coming up. Allison Pill, Samantha Bond, director Catherine Bigelow. I believe she directed The Hurt Locker. She's done other things as well, but that's Rebecca Ferrati, Ferratti. Garrett Graham, who was in Child's Play 2, 1990. He was in the movie Used Cars with Kurt Russell, 1980. Excuse me. Patricia McPherson, who was on the TV series Knight Rider, 1982 to 1986. That was the one with David Hasselhoff, not the remake that had somebody else and Val Kilmer as the voice of Kit. Randall Reeder, he was in Deadpool 2. I think he was a boxer, wrestler, something. I'm not sure. I don't know. He looked familiar. I was like, oh, he was in that. I remember that. Hey. Stunt performer, actor, Tom Morga. I want to say he played Jason Voorhees with the hockey mask. I think he was the first one. I could be wrong. Bill Nye, the Science Guy. Carolyn Kennedy. Victoria Gotti. This, of course, is out of the top 100 of 1,256. To the late Bruce Lee. James Avery, Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's done other things other than that, but Connie Sawyer, who was the elderly lady in Dumb and Dumber, 1994. Stephen Elliott, who was the, I believe, police commissioner or something in Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. Is this a man who disabled a police car by sticking bananas in the tailpipe? If you've seen Beverly Hills Cop, you remember that scene. That's the actor. He was also in the movie Arthur with Dudley Moore, 1981, and Liza Minnelli and Sir John Gielgud. If you've seen Arthur from 1981, you know who I mean. He was the one who's, do you think you want some cheese? Because he goes, and there's a scene where they uh, shoot clay pigeons, where they, um, but yeah. Michael Tolan, who was in All That Jazz, 1979, and he was in the movie Presumed Innocent, 1990. Uncle Ray Murphy, that's what it says on the IMDb credit, Uncle Ray Murphy. And to the late Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. I had a good night last night. We were going to be out of work early, so we thought. Ended up getting 12 skids to break down. 4 of them were taller than I am. 4 of them were about waist high. And the other 4 were about ankle high, knee high, between ankle and knee high for me. But there was just a lot of on it. It was like a bunch of cheese, butter, yogurt, more cheese, more yogurt. It's like we didn't have anything else for the store. So 4 people ended up working backstock in 2 of the aisles. The 2 aisles that get hit the hardest around Thanksgiving, Christmas, other holidays right there in December where it's like food. But yeah, they did that. Somebody was doing other things. We started conditioning. We started off conditioning, which is just straightening up the aisle, bringing the items on the shelf forward. I did Gatorade in aisle 6, which is about, because if this is the aisle, Gatorade section is about like this. So I was like, and make sure the bottom looked like removed cardboard. Customer, and I say customer, I don't believe an employee would have done it, but there was a carton of eggs on the shelf, and it was like, what the, it's like, who does that? It's like, I don't want these eggs no more, duh. Moron. I really don't get people that do that. It's like, I mean, had they put it in a different door of the cooler, okay, you put it back in the cooler. I respect that. You might not have put it back where it went or supposed to go, but you put it in the cooler. But this idiot, I'm gonna put it on the shelf because I'm stupid. That's the only thing I'm thinking that they say, that they have, that they might think. Anyway, after I conditioned that section of Gatorade, I went around to the corner to aisle 7, took the cardboard and the eggs, took the cardboard to the baler, put the eggs in the cooler for damages, because there's a section in the cooler. It's like this shelf is, damages. It nothing for. Anyway, I went back to aisle 7 to start that. Started conditioning something. Then I was called. Hey, could you load up the milk? Because I was like, yeah, okay. So I went into the cooler, which I love being in the cooler. I hate breaking down all the skids, like 16 skids. That's 18, 20 skids. It's like, fuck, that's a lot of shit. 12. That was good last night. We ended up having 4 people breaking it down, so it helped break it down real fast. We had to go over the plan a couple of times because it's like, one person come in, okay, this is going in the cooler. You can put other stuff on here, just, whatever. But Okay, this is on a cart. We're gonna leave this on a skid. Cheese, this, Okay, small cart. This is meat. Doesn't even not a dairy section item. Meat, different section, different person, different whatever. But I loaded up the milk, emptied 3 skids, filling up those sections of milk. It's like uh, 1 door for red. No, 1.5 doors of red, which is a half for the orange, and then 2 doors of orange. The cap on the gallon of milk. Um, then it's purple, then blue, and then there's the half gallons. So it's like I emptied 3 skids, and it. Then it was like, you know what? I'm tired, because it was about midnight because I started at 10. You figure we had our little meeting. Hey, this is what we're gonna do. Started, got sent to the cooler. So in about an hour and a half, uh, I emptied those 3 skids and put stuff on the shelf for the red cap gallons, half gallons, orange cap gallons, half gallons, purple, blue. It was like, okay, took the empty skids out, stacked them up. I didn't take them out I took them out one at a time. When I emptied it, I took it out. Um, put all the crates that the milk came in onto the um, ones on the skid to stack it up 7 high. It's like, okay, that's full. Started on the second one. Oh, that's full. So the second skid that I took out, I plopped right there, started filling it up. I'm like, okay. I'm not sure, but I believe I filled it up by the time the night was over. Because when live load came in for dairy, there was a skid of crates and boxes on top of it and whatnot. But so yeah, it was fun. It was a good night. I finished excuse me. I finished work in the cooler, filling everything up: cottage cheese, milk, creamer. Excuse me, sour cream. It's like sour cream and cottage cheese. We count it as the same thing, so it goes in like the same 2-3 doors. So it's like, okay, these are. But yeah, I finished all that. I took care of the skids. They were empty. I was like, all right, cool. Brought my shamrock and the flat top out. Took it to the baler. Started throwing the cardboard in. Finished. It compacts. I'm like throwing some more stuff in, and it stops. It's like. I checked the door. It's open a little, so I'm like, okay. I close the door. Restart it. Pushes it. Red light comes on. It's full. It was like, okay. So I tied off the bale. I was like, was cheese done? Well, yeah, okay, cool. Because the other 3 guys that were helping break down load, one of them did juice, one of them did the butter biscuit section, and the third one did yogurt. And they were like, yeah, I'd asked them, what are you guys going to do when you get done? Are you going to go straight to cheese or help out the others? Go straight to cheese. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that plan was carried through, and it was like, whatever. So person finished the juice, went to cheese. Person went to, they all went to cheese after they finished their section. I got a cart. Before I finished, I got a cart of stuff that was out on the other skids. sour cream, cottage cheese, some milk items, creamer, whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. Took care of those, put those up. It's like, all right, whatever went off that cart, I put up. If it didn't go, I put it on the backstock L cart. Had because I had skids in the cooler at the time. That L cart I couldn't push through to where it went, so I had to go around, around the outside, around the outside, um, to the other side. Went in. It was like, okay, I got one package of sour cream to go up out of the 16 that we received. I was like, all right, pushing it forward, make sure it doesn't fall. Okay, easing it up, easing it up. One, just so everything else went onto a backstock. I was like, okay, use that color. Card. I use that card. Yes, words. Me English. Um, sorry. You figure I used that L cart for backstock for the other skids. It's like, okay, this doesn't go. Emptied a skid, took that out, stacked it up. We didn't have a truck to put it on, a trailer, you know. So it was like, so we ended up stacking them up in the back. And I don't mean stacking them like I'm standing this up and sliding. No, it gets stacked up. Some people just, I take an empty one back and drop it and leave it. There's 3 empty ones right next to each other. Slide them up on, but no, they don't do it. So when I took mine back there and saw the empty ones just sitting there next to each other, I was like, so I stand it up, scooch it over, lift it up, put it on top. Second one, and the one I took out, which was the third one, I stood that up. Ooh, okay, good. I hurt myself doing something, and I don't know what. Probably lifting this kids up. Uh, but it's like a bruise right there for something. Uh, I'm okay with it. Ooh, I'm going on 18 minutes. Telling you how my night went. It was great. But yeah, I ended up finishing the cooler, went to tie off the bale because I filled it. Nobody else did. It was like, the day before yesterday, the guy that works frozen, one of the guys that works frozen, had come back because I was working cheese. I started off in cheese that night. He comes back. He's kind of like laughing. I'm like, "What? You all right? What's going on?" He's like, I was asked to tie off the bale, and it's funny because it's either you or me that does it. I was like, Amy does it. She'll do it if she's there. Yeah, then he was like, yeah, but nobody else. They'll like look at it and be like, turn around and walk away. It's like, yeah, it's not that they don't know how to do it because some of them do. They just don't want to. And I understand that. The baling wire, I jabbed myself with on here. I've scraped myself a few times. Um, I almost with the thing because it was like, and because I wear my watch there, and it kind of got stuck into my watch, and I was like, oh. But yeah, I mean, I understand the baling wire does that. It's well, you got to be more careful because sometimes it's like it has a mind of its own. You're like, oh, fuck. There's a scrape right here on my lens because the baling wire went. Had I not been wearing the glasses, I could have lost an eye. very dangerous. It's, because there's 5 places to put in the rod to put the wire through. We only do 3 usually. I do 3, top, middle, and the bottom. Sometimes it's the top and the bottom too, because there's like cardboard wedged in. There's some like grooves on the thing that pushes, so it's like cardboard might get stuck in there. So it's like trying to, and you can't do it. So, but yeah, I was tying the bail. I tied the bail off. I was like, cheese is done. I was like, because I asked someone, I was like, do you know if cheese was done? They're like, oh yeah, everyone's in 14. I was like, okay, cool. So I tied off the bail, grabbed 2 the shamrocks filled with plastic garbage, stuff. It was like, ugh. Took that to the hole in the wall, started throwing stuff. I was like, use the shovel, tried to shove that in there. It went a little forward, but it was like, all right. So then went up a little higher. It's like, all right, and emptied the shamrock, emptied the shamrock from the stuff, closed up that door, started it, took the shamrock back over to the area, grabbed 2 more shamrocks that were filled with plastic. There were 4 sitting over there before our shift started. After our shift started, there was 5. And I took 4 over, so I left 1. Sorry. I ended up having somebody else who's taller than I am, who can, because there's like a long metal rod, not metal, but yeah, it's steel rod, whatever, with like a push on it. And I was like, can you do this? Because you're taller than I am, and you can get it at a different angle than I can, and I'm not as strong. So he took, and the supervisor for the morning was walking by, and he's like, no, here, use it from the top. I was like, oh, cool. And they did that. They pushed it. Produce had put stuff in, and because it was so cold, and what they put in was wet, it sort of froze to the thing. It just stuck. They didn't bother pushing it forward. There was like a barrel of stuff, like odds and ends that, for garbage and stuff. Anyway, but they just left it there. And I'm like, that's just so, the one guy pushed it and the other guy was like, no, here, like this. And he pushed it and it was like, moved it forward. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Thank you guys. After that section ran, I emptied a third one second, third, third. I don't remember. I know, but I emptied 4 of them. So, and I took them back. Actually, I left one there and I took 2 of them back because it was like once it's emptied, I start the thing, take it back. I was like, all right, okay. But yeah, it was a good night. I really had a good night. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're staying hydrated. I hope you're getting plenty to eat or had gotten plenty to eat for your day, depending on what time you watch this. I hope you get plenty of rest or are getting plenty of rest. Stay warm. If you're in the colder climates, please stay warm. Bundle up. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless.